Hello, shalom, and welcome to JCRC-NY's, the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York's virtual Passover food tasting, featuring members of the New York State Senate. And before we get started, I'd like to thank our partners for this event, the JCRC of Long Island and the Westchester Jewish Council. And I would also like especially to thank our sponsor for tonight's program, Metropolitan Realty Group, and its founder and owner, Scott Jaffe. Thank you very much, Scott. It's now my pleasure to introduce the senators who have joined us so far. First, going alphabetically, first from the Bronx and a bit of Westchester, Jamaal Bailey, a Democrat representing the 36th Senatorial District. Next, Senator Andrew Gounardes, also a Democrat from the 22nd Senatorial District in Kings County in Brooklyn. Then we have Senator Peter Harckham, another Democrat from the 40th Senatorial District in Dutchess, Putnam, and Westchester counties. And Senator Robert Jackson, Democrat from the 31st Senatorial District, New York County, Manhattan. And Senator Jessica Ramos, Democrat, 13th Senatorial District from Queens. And I see that we've just been joined by two more senators. So I'm not sure that I'm looking at Senator Thomas live yet, and he's muted. And Senator Weik, you're also muted for the moment, but I'm going to introduce you.
Hi.
Hi, thank you. Senator Kevin Thomas, a Democrat from the 6th Senatorial District in Nassau County. Thank you very much. Great to have you on. And Senator Alexis Weik from the 3rd Senatorial District in Suffolk County. So our two Long Islanders are here, and Senator Weik is a Republican, so thank God this is bipartisan. Thank you very much, Senator. Okay, we're here to taste Passover food. So what is Passover? Passover, I think many know, is the story of the children of Israel in Egypt. They were enslaved in Egypt by the Pharaoh, and God, through the intermediary of Moses, came and was able, God was able to do everything, but through a series of plagues, convinced Pharaoh to let the children of Israel leave Egypt, cross the Red Sea, which is actually the Reed Sea, and go into the Sinai Peninsula, and then up by Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments. But the story of Passover is the story of the history of the Jewish people leading into Egypt and the Exodus, not the movie, but the real thing, the Exodus from Egypt and to freedom. So the Jewish people, the children of Israel, transitioned from being slaves, from being enslaved, to becoming free people. And that's what we celebrate on Passover. And we've been doing this for thousands of years. But there's an old story about Jewish holidays. The history of the Jewish people, regrettably, has been a history of having been persecuted. So that's the story. We were persecuted. God came and saved us. So let's eat. So that's what we're up to now. We're up to the let's eat part. And when do we actually eat most of this stuff? We eat most of this stuff at a Seder. And it's possible that many of our senators have been at Seders, and many of the folks who are viewing us either live on the Zoom or on Facebook have been at Seders as well. And to go through the Seder, we actually need a playbook. The playbook is called a Haggadah, which means telling. It's a telling of the story. The old traditional American Haggadah, the liturgy was found. You get it in your supermarket, and it's see if I can get it right there. It's the Maxwell House. So you think of coffee and you think of Passover. Okay, so it's the Maxwell House Haggadah. And I brought another one up as well. And this is the American Jewish Legacy Haggadah, which is in ShopRite. And then the ones that you can actually buy. And this is, I think you'll love this one. This is the unofficial, there it is, the unofficial Hogwarts Haggadah. So, Haggadahs come in all different forms. The words are all the same. They're, right, you can see that. They're in Hebrew and they're also in English. But part of the story begins with matzah. So what is matzah? We'll get to that in a second. And part of being associated with this virtual tasting, or it's not that the tasting isn't virtual, but the event is virtual, is a trivia contest where we get down to the real nitty gritty of what Passover is all about. So I'm going to be asking, before we eat, we're going to be doing a little bit of testing here. Each one of our senators should have something like this. So if you can please have it with you, and you have an A, a B, a C, and a D sticky. Okay. I'm going to ask the question. We're going to pause and going to let the audience, you're going to see the question on the screen. I believe our production team will do that. They're going to vote, and then we're going to see how the senators vote and compare what the senators' responses are to what our audience responses are. Okay? All right. So production team, Jennifer, there it goes. Question number 1. What current event most resembles the Passover story? A, deliverance of the COVID-19 vaccine to people under the age of 30 in New York State. B, the Ever Given ship being freed from the Suez Canal. 3, C is March Madness. And D are elections in Israel. What current event most resembles the Passover story? Okay, we're going to give, right, you folks on the screen with me, we can't vote, but the people in the audience can vote. All right. So if we could tabulate whenever you can, Jennifer, what the responses are.
I didn't even.
Okay, but our senators need to have already made a decision what they're doing. So we're going to start with Peter and see what Peter Harckham.
That's an A if you can't read
I
it.
didn't get to vote.
That's an A. That's an A. Okay, I'm just looking at my screen. We'll go across the screen. Jessica Ramos.
I didn't get to vote.
Oh no, you can't. You have to
But
hold.
A.
You have to hold up your sticky. That's what. A. Is that an A? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yes, we get a little closer to the camera. Thank you, Andrew Gounardes. I can't see that.
A.
A. Okay. Alexis Weik.
I would say B.
B. Right.
She cheated.
Kevin.
A.
A. And Jamaal.
Listen, everybody's going to say A, but I can't resist talking about basketball. I got to go March Madness because it's the ultimate underdog story. Look, I got to go March Madness, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay. And Robert, what do you got? I can't see.
A.
A. Okay. There really is no accurate answer here. And our audience, as you see, 67% of them said that it was the ship being freed from the Suez Canal. So think about Suez Canal and you think about the children of Israel crossing the Red Sea. So that's what kind of we thought the answer really was. But it's also true that the deliverance of COVID-19, that's also like kind of a redemptive experience. So, okay, we'll go with that. Next time around, what we're going to do is I want to see what your votes are before we see what the audience does. So we're going to go to the second question now. So as I said, the Passover surrounds the matzah, So question number 2, what is matzah? So matzah is the flat bread the Jews made in their haste to leave Egypt. That's A. B is it's edible cardboard. Number 3, C, is salt-free crackers. And D is super crumb making machines. Okay, so let's pull down please, Jennifer, can you pull down the questions, please? There you go. And hopefully our audience has already responded. And let's see how our senators responded. Okay, I'm going to start my other side, the other reverse order. Senator Jackson, Robert Jackson. A, flatbread the Jews made in their haste to leave Egypt. Senator Bailey.
I'm going to go with a correct answer this time, I hope.
Okay. Well, there's no basketball option here, so we're going with A. Kevin Thomas.
I'll go with C.
You're going to go with C, salt-free crackers. And Alexis Weik. D.
Being the matzah fan that I am, I'm gonna say D.
Okay. Andrew Gounardes.
A.
A. Jessica Ramos. A. Okay. Peter Harckham.
Can we say all of the above? I will say A.
A. Okay. Let's see how our audience responded. Yeah, 90% of the audience said A. Yeah, but it's interesting that we did have somebody said it is edible cardboard, which is true. I think that Peter is correct. They are salt-free crackers, and Alexis Weik is correct that they make a ton of crumbs. Okay, so now that we have done the trivia, let's turn to the food itself. All right. Here we go. We have 2 types of matzah. For those who are at home, you should know that we circulate through somebody's wrote, but we should have had ranked choice voting on how we just did that, but okay. We have 2 types of matzah. We have the square matzah, whoops, like you have behind me in the background, virtual background, and we have the round matzah. What's the difference between the 2 of them? The square matzah is machine made. The round matzah is handmade. And I've got a ton of this round matzah here in the house. It's generally speaking very, very tasty, but we're going to see the difference between a machine matzah and a hand matzah. And for any of those who are watching and see that I'm eating, I'm not making any blessings. I made all the blessings before, so we didn't have to interrupt with making blessings in Hebrew. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is eating the machine matzah. We're going to compare it to the hand matzah. So ready, everybody? Break off a piece. There we go.
You know, you guys are making me eat a lot of carbs tonight.
Yeah, I know. That's part of the problem.
Right.
That's when you go from slavery to freedom. The slavery is eating all these carbs. The freedom is when you don't have to eat.
Proteins are freedom. I mean, historically, right, having access to protein was seen as an elite thing.
Yeah, all right.
But Senator Lanza wanted to let you know that he is listening. He's just not on video. He just messaged me.
Oh, come on, Andy. What are you doing here?
Yeah, he's really missing out.
Come on, Andy.
We need him on. Okay. So we've just tasted the machine matzah. And now we're going to break the round hand matzah. And I'd like for those who are eating with us, I understand that Senator Thomas's package is you're in Albany and it's in Long Island, or is it?
No, that package was given to Jessica.
Begins with Jessica. So Jessica's eating virtual. She's eating vicariously for you. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go with the round matzah.
Wow. You can really taste the difference.
Yeah.
Thank you to whoever made this.
That's good. So nobody's gonna make a joke that I should like the machine matzah better.
Mm. Spoken by the Democratic chair of Bronx County. Yeah. Anyway, I love matzah. I love hand matzah. And I'm looking at what I have in front of me and saying, hey, Mike, go through all this stuff. All righty. Anyway, we already heard from Senator Ramos, heard from Jessica about the difference between the two. Alexis, you indicated that you were a matzah person. So what do you think? What are your feelings about the two?
I love them both. I'm a big fan. I usually put lots of butter on them, but plain is good too.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about what we put on the matzah a little bit later. Let's see, somebody who's not chewing right now. Andrew Gounardes.
Yeah, I agree. I think the handmade matzah, you can taste the difference for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm struck, there's I can't think of it off the top of my head, but being Greek, there's a very similar type of dry biscuit that we
Really?
eat. I can't think, it tastes similar, it doesn't look the same, but it has almost the same taste. So I'm trying to search my Greek word bank from Greek school to try to come up, remember the word, but it's a very familiar taste to me.
Well, most of this round matzah is actually baked in Brooklyn, where you're not that far from those bakeries, and getting it like really fresh, it's really just incredible. So Jamaal, do you want to go next?
I think the handmade one is much better. Like they're both good, And again, I grew up eating some matzah crackers and matzo ball soup from time to time, believe it or not. But I think the handmade matzah is I think it's better. They're both good, but the handmade one's better.
Okay, I'm in agreement with you, Senator Jackson. Robert, what's RJ? What's your view? Round.
You're muted there, RJ.
You can taste the difference. I mean,
Yeah.
And not only the taste, but you look at it, you can see that it's cooked and baked, nice brown.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We're making Senator Thomas and Senator Harckham very jealous that we're eating all this good stuff. Okay, so
I think, since this was handmade in Brooklyn, I think it's fair to call it artisanal matzah.
oh.
Artisanal matzah, all right?
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to the next step, which is we're gonna do the wine. So for those who are drinking, we have several of our senators who are not drinkers, other than the senators who don't have it in front of them anyway. Okay. But we're gonna first, before we drink the wine, we're going to ask the question of why there is a wine. So we studied about the matzah, that it was baked quickly on their way out of Egypt. It didn't have a chance to rise. That's why we eat matzah on Passover. And the focus of the Seder is on the matzah, but we also have 4 cups of wine. Why do we have 4 cups of wine at the Seder? Number 1, to have dry red, dry white, sweet red, and sweet white at the meal. B, wine to go with each course of the meal. C, it's a long story. The Haggadah is a long story. It needs something to keep people's attention at the table. And then D, to symbolize the 4 promises of deliverance that God gave to the Jewish people. So we're going to ask our audience to please fill out the form and vote. And again, A is the different kinds of wine. B is to accompany whatever we're eating. C, it's a long story. We want to keep people's attention. And 4, to symbolize the 4 promises of deliverance to the children of Israel. Okay, we'll pull down the question. Thank you. And we're going to turn to our senator. We'll start with Senator Thomas. What?
I picked D.
D. Okay. Senator Harckham.
I like C, but the answer's D.
Okay. Senator Gounardes.
Yeah, same. I agree with. I want to say C, but I know the answer is D.
Okay. Senator Bailey.
I'm gonna do my ranked choice. First choice is gonna be D. Second choice is gonna be C.
Senator Ramos.
I'm not gonna fake it. I'm gonna go with C because it's C. C? C.
Okay, C. Okay. Senator Weik. Sorry.
I'm going with D.
Going with D, and Senator Jackson is going with D. I can see the big D. Okay, and let's see what the audience, how they responded. Look at that. 88% went with D, but we did have 12% who went with C. So I commend all those who went with C, and it is a very, very long story, and it certainly is wonderful to be accompanied by wine. Okay, so here we have an Israeli wine. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon 2019. And we're just going to make a l'chaim to life. If you have water, great. We have apple juice for Senator Bailey. We have water for Senators Thomas and Harckham and Senator Weik as well. For those who are drinking the wine, salute.
Salute.
Salud. Shouldn't we say l'chaim?
Well, go. Let's one more time. L'chaim.
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 Thank you, Senator Ramos.
I got you.
Oh yeah. What do you think of the wine?
Delicious.
It is. It's an excellent wine.
Very full-bodied.
Yeah.
I have some vintage apple juice here.
RJ, what do you think? Senator Jackson?
Dry, but good.
Yeah.
I
Senator
needed it
Gounardes?
after the matzah.
Yeah, it's good. Matzah and wine are really good. Matzah and wine together, it's a great, great combination. Senator Gounardes?
That's great.
Yeah, it's an excellent vineyard called Shiloh in English, or Shiloh in Hebrew. And they make really outstanding wines. And I happen to like this one, and it comes in smaller bottles, so it made it a lot easier for us. Okay, so one of the things that we didn't send to our senators was bitter herbs, depending how you pronounce the H or don't pronounce the H. So the question is, why do we eat bitter herbs on Passover? So we're going to put the question up. Team is very quick on this. A, they often complement the food that is traditionally served at the Seder. Usually is ground horseradish, by the way. B, is a natural alternative to spring allergy medication because it clears your sinuses.
Practical.
C, to symbolize the bitterness of slavery. And D, to symbolize the hardening of Pharaoh's heart. Okay, so again, for the audience, complementing the food, a sinus clearer to symbolize the bitterness of slavery is C, and to symbolize the hardening of Pharaoh's heart is D. You could do ranked choice voting on this one too, but let's take a look at, again, how the senators voted. Please take down the question. Thank you. When the question is up for my team back down there, I can't see the panelists. So thank you very much for taking it down. We'll start with Senator Weik. Where did you end up on this one?
Well, I'm definitely going to go with B, being that it's not here. I know it's not the right answer, but I'm going with B.
Well, I can tell you this much, and certainly my children and grandchildren can tell you that when their grandfather eats the bitter, the horseradish, whoa, it's incredible. What? And I'm sorry we didn't send it to you. But maybe we'll send it to you separately, or just go to the fruit and vegetable store, buy some horseradish, grate it, and then just kind of eat it raw. Okay, we got one B. Senator Ramos, go with the word first.
C, sticking with C for this one as well.
All right, she's got a straight arrow on this one. Symbolize the bitterness of slavery. Thank you, Senator Jackson. C and then D. Okay, that's good.
Choice voting.
Ranked choice voting. Senator Bailey.
Also, I'm gonna go C. I'm gonna go C.
Okay. Senator Thomas.
I'm doing ranked choice as well, C and D.
C and D. Okay. Senator Gounardes.
I'm gonna do C and B.
C and B. Okay, I don't know if Senator Weik wants to kind of recalculate her vote and.
Well, we all know C is the right answer, but B is
Right.
definitely appropriate for this time of year.
Yeah, Senator Harckham.
It is amazing nasal decongestant, but I will go with C.
Okay, let's take a look at our audience. Right, we didn't, anybody who went with the natural alternative to allergy medication, but we did have a bunch of Ds, well, at least one D, but 90% gave C, that we all know is the answer, symbolizing the bitterness of slavery. So to blunt the bitterness of the bitter herb known as maror, M-A-R-O-R, maror. So in order to blunt the maror, the bitterness, we have the charoset. The charoset, talking about in a second, but you have it in the little plastic cup. Oh, can he vote too?
I left it in my fridge.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
going to stir a little bit, so I had to pick him up, but here we go.
Oh.
What's his name?
Evan,
Evan.
yeah.
Evan. Okay, thank you. Wonderful to have Evan on board. So we're going to
Hey,
ask. We're going to
hey,
ask.
Andrew Lanza here.
Lanza.
Oh, hey, Senator Lanza. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm sorry, and it's great to join my colleagues and you all. Happy Pesach. I've been listening to the entire call, but I couldn't speak. I felt like Moses, unable to cross the River Jordan.
Well, stay with us if you can, even if you're only going to be able to join us on your cell phone, because there's a question towards the end which you can relate to very directly. Okay, so, and again, in order to blunt the bitterness, the sharpness of the maror, we have charoset. So let's take a look at the question number 5. Please put it up. Jennifer. Question, why do we charoset during the Seder? There we go. 1 is to remind us of the mortar that was used to build the pyramids. You have to really wonder who did build those pyramids. 2, B, because something has to go on the matzah. This is instead of peanut butter and jelly. C is to remind us of the mummification process. And D, because Rosh Hashanah already claimed apples and honey, so we needed something else. So this is the Passover alternative. Okay, as Senator Ramos is still munching on her matzah. Okay, so we're going to turn to Senator Gounardes and Evan to vote after the.
We're going to go with B.
We're going to go with B. B, something to put
got to go on top of the matzah.
Okay. All right, Senator Thomas. D, because she's already claimed the apples and the honey. All right, Senator Jackson, what you got? The same one. Wow. Okay, Senator Weik, where are you?
Going with A.
He's going with A. Okay, and Senator Bailey.
I'm gonna have to go with my colleagues. I'm gonna have to go with D, apples and honey. You know, it's
Okay, Senator Ramos.
Listen,
D, another D. Whoa. And
I mean, look, none of it beats Purim. The Hamantashen just blows everybody out of the water. I'm just going to say it.
Okay, Senator Harckham.
They didn't have peanut butter to put on the matzah, but I'm going to say A.
Okay, you got to say A. And we're going to take a look at the audience. Yeah, 96% of them said A, but we had one person bold enough to say that it was the D. So I commend all the D voters. And Senator Ramos is right. It doesn't compare at all to Purim. Purim blows it out of the water, right? Okay, so now is our opportunity. We sent you a spoon to taste and I haven't tasted this part. There are different ways of making charoset. And it's supposed to remind us again of the mortar making the bricks. And it's very interesting, Senator Gounardes, that the Hebrew word for a stone or a brick is Evan. So it kind of fits. All right. Let's dig in here. It's sweet. Again, it has to blunt the taste of the bitter herb. So here we go.
Let's go, Jamaal.
Mine spilled. Mine spilled. It spilled all on my fact sheet. You can see the evidence.
Listen,
Yeah.
where can I buy this or how do I make it?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna send around, our wonderful team will send you a recipe. It's made of, what do you think it's made of, by the way?
Grated apples,
Yep,
the herb, maybe there's some cinnamon, a little bit.
got it, okay. What
Oh,
else?
honey.
What else?
There's
Also-
some sort of chopped nut.
There you go, that's it. Cinnamon, that's the basic. Cinnamon, nuts, and apples.
Any
Uh,
specific nut?
excuse me, any particular nut? We use walnuts. We always use walnuts. And in fact, if you go into a supermarket, you can already get the chopped up walnuts. So all you have to do is chop your apples, put cinnamon on it, and we also pour a little bit of wine into it as well. I'm not sure that there's any wine in this, but maybe that's the wine that's spilled
Now
out.
there is.
Actually, I like that idea, Jessica. So I'm gonna join you on that.
Yes, we might need to have a Food Network show, like guess the ingredient or something like that. That was pretty remarkable that you're able to pick those.
Listen, I love food. All food is good food.
I love charosette. And I'll just show you, go to my refrigerator.
The host has left us.
All right, so
Oh, he's back.
this is the charosette. This is the charosette that I'm gonna be eating the rest of the week. A whole thing of it. I just love this stuff. Okay, so that's our charosette story. We tasted the charosette. Now we're ready for dessert. I gotta drink a little bit of wine to wash down. Excellent wine. Okay. Let's go. We're gonna get some humorous questions here. Let's go to the next question. Okay, which cheese might one eat on Passover? Gouda, feta, cheddar, or mozzarella? Okay.
Well, everyone knows that feta makes everything better, so it's got to be.
Oh, here comes the grief.
Okay, we're gonna ask the audience to respond. Again, Gouda, feta, cheddar, or mozzarella? Okay. Let's see how our senators vote. We'll start this case with Senator Harckham.
The Sicilian in me wants to say mozzarella, but I'm going to say Gouda.
Gouda, okay. Senator Ramos?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gouda as well.
Okay. Senator
Even though
White?
Gouda's Dutch though.
What?
All right.
All right, Senator Weik?
I'm definitely going with my favorite cheese, which is Gouda.
Another Gouda person, Gouda. Okay, Senator Jackson's ready to go. C is cheddar. He's a cheddar man. Senator Bailey,
As goes Senator Harckham, goes the Senate. Hey.
Gouda man.
That's our mistake.
And Senator Thomas?
That's a Gouda decision.
Oh, that's good enough. Okay, Senator
Hey.
Senator Thomas, what you got?
I got good as well.
Gouda. Is Senator Gounardes going to stick with feta?
Lanza.
Got to be kidding me that we can't stick with feta. But
Mozzarella from Staten Island.
There you go. So let's take a look at how they want. Yeah, mozzarella. Nobody
What?
Whoa.
voted for Gouda.
Whoa.
Yo, this has to be a total New York City thing though.
No, but the whole idea is that it's mozzarella. Mozzarella.
Wow. So Marion in the chat is right.
What did she say? What did Mary?
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella, M-A-T-Z-A, mozzarella.
Ah,
So we commend Senator Lanza.
Wow.
Andrew, you've done good. Okay.
Lanza cheated.
Mind blown.
Okay. Now we're going to have our next, our first dessert. Our first dessert is the most traditional cake that you can get for Passover. The most traditional cake. Okay, so we're going to look at the chat and just ask the audience, what is the most traditional cake that we have on Passover? And chat people want to ask? Sponge cake from Shayna? Anybody else? Come on, think a little bit more beyond sponge cake. Okay, guys, it's all different kinds of honey cakes, round marble cakes, rainbow cakes. Oh, Judy, we're gonna get to rainbow cakes. All right. Rainbow, come on, Senator Jackson. Okay, guys, you know what it is? It's 7-layer cake.
Ah,
7-layer cake.
Oh.
To die for 7-layer cake on Passover. There's nothing like 7-layer cake. Okay,
and I'm ready to eat it too.
right. So why do we have 7-layer cake? I don't know. It's a tradition. I have no idea why. What's in the layers is chocolate. Chocolate. Yeah.
Tell me when.
Okay, so here we go. And I'm sorry for the senators who not taking part of this. Okay, here we go.
I kind of, in a way, wish I was them because now tomorrow I'm going to have to run extra long.
Yeah, that's good too. That's good too. That's a Passover tradition, but it's usually to run to the kitchen to eat more matzah. You can't get rid of these calories like for the next 6 weeks. This calories going to stick with you.
Oh my gosh.
Excellent.
Isn't it good? Yeah, there's nothing to me growing up in the Bronx, one of our Bronxers, Jamaal, growing up in the Bronx, 7-layer cake. My mother would never make 7-layer cake. My wife doesn't make 7-layer cake. We buy 7-layer cake. And it's always just, okay, somebody just said to Senator Ramos that you should walk from Queens to Albany.
You know what? I scoff at it, but Robert Jackson has done this for our children twice now.
Right.
Yeah. RJ.
Okay, we're going to go down to our next question. I love this question. Ready?
Mhm.
Who is Moses? A great Jewish patriarch, a great Jewish prophet, a great Jewish shepherd, the mastermind of the Cross Bronx Expressway.
Oh, he's a touchy subject.
All of the
All
above.
of the above.
Okay, we're going to ask our audience. Yeah, okay, we're going to pull it down. Patriarch, prophet, shepherd, or Cross Bronx Expressway. Okay, we're going to turn to our wonderful panelists. And this time we're going to start with Andrew. We lost Evan, but where's Andrew?
I'm right here. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Back here. I'm gonna go with prophet.
B, prophet. Jamaal.
I'm gonna go. You can't stop the prophet.
Prophet. Peter.
B.
Prophet. Kevin.
I'll go with D.
Destroyed the Bronx, Kevin.
Sorry. Alexis.
I'm going with B.
B. Okay, Robert.
I'm going with ranked choice voting. And during that time, it was a prophet, but a shepherd also.
Yeah, I guess he was. That's very good. And Jessica?
B.
B. Okay, let's go to the audience.
Prophet.
Prophet hit 60, but he wasn't really a patriarch. We don't list him as one of our patriarchs. What we do, he did shepherd sheep. And yes, the mastermind of the Cross Bronx Expressway was Robert Moses. So there was a Moses by that name. Okay, next question. How many plagues did God send to Egypt? Whoops. I should have not put this up, but we'll do it now. How many plagues did God send the Egyptians before Pharaoh let the people, the Jews leave? 10, 50, 200, or 250? A is 10, B is 50, C is 200, and D is 250. Okay, let the audience vote. Okay, let's pull down and turn to our panelists and start with Robert. What do you have? A is 10, okay? The 10.
10 is enough. The 200, 250, but 50 is too much. So this will
Okay.
clearly get it.
I'm going to give you an interesting answer when we finish this. A, okay, Peter?
I'm a little stumped. I forget whether it was 10 or 50. I'm going to go with my friend Robert Jackson, 10.
10, okay. Alexis?
I'm going with 10 also.
10, Jessica?
10.
8, okay, Andrew?
And
You're gonna
10,
hit the lotto.
Jamal?
It's
10, Kevin?
10, 10.
10, okay. Let's take a look.
Lanza says 10.
10 wins.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of like Hollywood Squares here.
It is. 100% voted for 10. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what?
It's
In
not
the
10.
book, in the Haggadah, we actually asked this question about how many plagues there were. And the answer is right. We know about, after we read about the 10 plagues, Rabbi Yossi the Galilean said that there were 50 plagues.
Wow.
Rabbi Eliezer says that there were 200 plagues.
Wow.
And Rabbi Akiva said that there were 250 plagues.
All of the above.
Yeah, so all of the above would have been a good answer. Okay,
name all 250 now? Is that the next one?
what was
It
that?
feels like 300 today.
All
Oh,
250?
Well, we've talked about the pandemic, about Corona-19 as being one of the plagues. One of the plagues is called Dever, which is called pestilence. We don't know what pestilence is. And it could very well have been something of this nature. Could have been something of this nature. Okay, so I skipped one of our desserts. We're going to go to it now, but somebody mentioned it before on the chat, and that's rainbow cake. All right, so this is, whoops, there you go. This is our rainbow cake. And we can take, it doesn't compare to Salsa, but we'll take our forks and dive into rainbow cake. Now, the Italians among our group here, we're very happy. We have yellow, we have green and pink or whatever it is. What are the colors of the Italian flag?
Red, green, and white.
Red, green, and white.
Yeah. So this originated in the Jewish quarter of Rome. So it was Italian. It was red, white, and green. But like everything else, the Jews made it better and changed the white to yellow.
As long, Andrew, as long as it sells, it'll go. Okay, so this is also, if you go into a kosher store, you even go into any supermarket where they sell Passover products, they'll have 7-layer cake and they're going to have rainbow cake. Rainbow cake is actually very good. I like it, but doesn't compare to 7-layer cake in my book. Okay. We're gonna wash it down. Jessica, l'chaim.
L'chaim.
Okay. All right, we're gonna ask the next question. That is about Egypt Park. Egypt Park is located closest to which city in the state of New York, guys? Egypt Park. There is an Egypt Park in the state of New York. is it closest to New York City, Albany, Rochester, or Buffalo? Tough question. Tough question. Egypt Park. Is it close to A, New York City, B, Albany, C, Rochester, and D, Buffalo? I defy anybody in the chat. If you know where Egypt Park is, let us know. Okay. Jessica's getting very excited about this. So let's pull it down and find out where we are. And Jessica and Robert are both eager to go. Jessica, you're
C.
okay. C is Rochester. Robert, what you got?
Buffalo.
D, Buffalo. Okay. Peter.
I'm channeling Senators Brook and Cooney, and I'm going with Rochester, like Jessica Ramos.
Whoa, Rochester. Okay. Kevin.
C.
D, Rochester. Wow.
Well, it's budget time, so I'm going to go in the capital region. I'm going to go Albany.
Okay. Alexis, what are you up to?
Well, since I have no idea, I'm just going to add some variety and go with D.
Go with D. D is Buffalo. Okay. And Andrew Gounardes.
I'm gonna go with Rochester.
Rochester. Okay. What about Andrew Lanza? Are you on?
Yes, as always, I'm going to vote with Senator Ramos and say Rochester.
Is that a promise? Is that a promise, Andy Lanza? It's a Passover
try.
pinky promise.
I will try.
Let's go to the floor. Bring on the budget bills.
It's a bipartisan vote. And this is how.
All right, you heard it. You heard it here first. Andy Lanza is voting with Jessica Ramos on all of the budget bills this year.
I would love to.
Rochester.
Let's take a look, and the answers that we've gotten, a nice split, but Rochester is with 53%, 20, the Buffalonians, 12%. Put it back up, please. Did we lose it? Okay. Anyway, the answer is Rochester. Jessica. Rochester. Jessica, did you know that the answer to that question?
No, but Google did.
Oh, okay. All right. You didn't ask a friend. You just went directly to Google.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't have the lifelines conversation, so you know,
All right.
God provides.
Google is more of a friend than your actual friend. It knows so much about you. So
Okay, we're gonna go with our next dessert, which is a muffin. So what's the big deal about the muffin? Okay, so 7-layer cake is not common. Rainbow cake isn't common. Everybody's got muffins. The difference is that this muffin is, I want to tell you. Let's taste the muffin and then I'll tell you, okay?
It's international. It has all the colors in here.
That is true too. It's multicultural.
Taste it. Okay.
Wow. I got so many crumbs. It's like the matzah, Alexis. Crumbs.
A little sweeter.
A little sweeter than matzah. Wow.
Man, I wish my kids were here to eat all. Maybe not. They shouldn't have all this sugar. Never mind.
Wow. Okay. What do you taste differently about this muffin? Anybody tell me?
Very sweet.
Yeah, aside from the sweetness.
And you need something to wash it down.
Indeed. L'chaim, Uncle Bob.
I'm with Jessica.
Some more apple juice.
More apple juice, more water.
The muffin is sweet and dry, floury.
But there's a secret about the muffin.
Flour. Yeah.
Right? Flour. What kind of flour is used in this muffin? Anybody? It's potato starch.
Oh.
It's what?
It's potato starch.
Why?
There is a tradition, not in my family, but there is a tradition not to mix matzah with water. Once you have matzah, you can't have it touch water. So in order to make cakes, the batter of the cakes is, well, again, chocolate covered matzah would not be eaten by people who don't eat matzah and water. So that's responding to somebody in the chat. This muffin is not made with flour as its base. It's made with potato starch as its base. And what's the alternative? The alternative is not flour. We do not use flour on Passover at all. So what do we use to make cakes? Think about it. What might we use to make cakes on Passover if we can't use flour? Think about repurposing. The answer is
Rice.
no. We can't use rice either. Thank you.
Matzah crumbs?
That's good.
Really?
We
What?
take matzah and we grind it up to become matzah meal. It's called matzah meal. I think I have some over here. Hold on.
Oh, Jess.
Was that Jess or was that Google?
That was me. That was me. That was me. I admit when it's Google. Yo, that was me. That was a guess.
Okay, can you see that? It says matzah meal. This is
Wait, now you're really blowing my mind tonight. So Manischewitz doesn't just make boxed wine?
no.
I have a lot to learn.
And in fact, oh, 1 second, don't go away. The hand matzah that you have been eating is made by who? Whoops.
Really?
Well,
Oh, we're very brand loyal here.
it's also made by Manischewitz. Manischewitz is not just a wine company; it's a kosher food company, and they made. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go to our next question. So again, we learned about muffins, we learned about potato starch, we learned about matzah meal. So we're learning about a lot regarding Passover and not mixing for those who don't either. Okay, anyway, you mix matzah with water to make matzah brai. What's matzah brai? Matzah brai is fried matzah. Now, usually you don't make it with water. You can, but you make it with eggs. Frying pan, you put butter or some sort of a margarine that's kosher for Passover, and you fry up matzah with eggs. It's very, very, very tasty. Called matzah brai, fried matzah. Okay, next question. Crack team. Okay, no cheating, no cheating. Pharaoh Mountain can be found near which lake in New York? Lake Placid, Troon Lake, Oneida Lake, and Chautauqua Lake. Pharaoh Mountain. Where is Pharaoh Mountain? Okay, so our audience, I'm sure, has no idea, other than those who are Googling it, where Pharaoh Mountain is. So we're just going to ask randomly. Okay, please take it down. Thank you. And so she doesn't do anything nasty. We're going to start with Jessica.
A? Is it A?
A, she said it's Lake Placid. Okay. Peter.
Troon Lake.
Troon Lake. Troon Lake is B. Robert.
Why'd you ask me first?
B.
I didn't know either, Jess.
Okay. We're gonna go back to Jessica at the end. Senator Kevin Thomas.
I'm going to go with Peter and Robert with B, Shroom Lake.
Jamal.
I'm with Pete.
Alexis.
I'm pretty sure it's B. I'm pretty sure it's Shroon Lake.
Okay. Andrew Gounardes.
Professor Pete, all the way, B.
B.
I'm leading us to ruin.
Oh yeah.
Our Moses.
Andrew. Andy Lanza, where are you?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I suspect it's near the Finger Lakes, but I don't know how that fits into this question. So I'm going to go with Senator Ramos, as always, whatever she said.
Okay, we're gonna give Jessica an opportunity to.
Be still my queen's heart.
We're gonna give Jessica Ramos an opportunity to correct her vote if she wishes.
I'm gonna go with the goat. Pete's right. I think it has to be Pete.
Okay, let's take a look how the audience responded. All right, 40% said Coffee Lake, only 13% said Shroon Lake, 33% said Oneida Lake, and 30% said an interesting mix. And the answer is Shroon Lake.
Yay!
I have to ask everyone on this call, on the Zoom, where is Shroon Lake? Does anybody know where Shroon Lake is?
In the Adirondack.
Yeah. It's right up near Lake George.
Yep.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Wow.
I had asked, Dory told me, I had absolutely no idea. Okay, we're gonna, should I do, okay, let's do the macaroons, okay? We have, this is very, very special because we have, let me just show the audience. We have in the plastic bag, we have 3 macaroons, 2 look alike and 1 doesn't. The one that doesn't look alike is well, actually, you tell me, please. This is store-bought. This is store-bought. Probably Manischewitz, but this is store-bought. And let's just take a taste of it, and there's no question here. Just please tell me what you taste. What flavor is it?
Coconut.
Coconut.
Standard macaroon. It's coconut. Yeah. Now, Dory Zofan, who produced this program for us, and who's behind the scenes, behind one of those boxes that says JCRC-NY, his wife made these 2 macaroons. So I've never tasted them. She comes from a Sephardic background. It's an Orthodox family, Orthodox home. And it's more roundish than the domed store-bought. Yeah. So let's see what you taste in this one. Here we go.
Lemon.
Cinnamon.
Okay.
Definitely lemon.
That's goodness. That's what it tastes like.
These are really good.
Yeah. What's the base?
Very sweet.
Is that an almond base?
What is it? That's it?
Almond. Doesn't
Almond.
the cookie taste like almond?
You got it. You can have the other macaroon too, for the, you give me that answer. Yeah. The answer is it's an almond base. Jessica, we gotta wash this down.
These are really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Little apple juice, little water. Okay. We've now tasted the macaroon. As traditional as you can get is to buy macaroons, eat macaroons on Passover. It's such a staple in Jewish homes over the course of Passover. We call it in Hebrew Pesach. Okay, why we call it Passover? Because God passed over the children of Israel when the 10th plague of the killing of the firstborn. But that's when God passed over. Okay, we're going to go to the next question, and that is, in New York County, in which New York County is Moses Mountain found? Moses Mountain, okay? Franklin County, A, B, Westchester County, C, Richmond County, and D, Essex County.
Wait. So do internal lifelines count? Andy Lanza, is this on Staten Island?
Yes.
context clue earlier. I think he said Andy's going to be interested in something later on. So
This is it.
Aha!
Somebody's listening to me. Somebody's listening.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get the answers from the senators. Senator Jackson is eager. What do you got? B. B is
Westchester County. Moses was New York City, so figured that Westchester County at that time was the place to be.
yeah, but I think this time I'm going to go to Jessica. She's not going to change her vote. So what did Senator Ramos say?
The Shaolin,
Which one is that, Jess?
What was that? I didn't see.
Richmond County.
D.
Ah.
Different counties. Senator Professor Harckham.
I know it's not Westchester. I'm sorry, my friend Robert, but I don't know beyond that. So I'm going to go with whatever Andrew Lanza says.
As long as you don't
Lanza,
vote with him on the budget bills.
So Staten Island is in the house, and Moses Mountain is right next to the highest natural point on the eastern seaboard.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
wow.
Okay, but we're going to talk about Moses Mountain after we get the vote. Senator Bailey.
Lanza land. That's where
Lanza
it's
land.
gotta be.
Richmond County, Staten Island. Senator Thomas.
Staten Island with Lanza.
Staten Island, Richmond. Senator Weik.
I'm going with Staten Island.
Staten Island. Senator Gounardes.
Yep, Staten Island.
Staten Island. Let's go to the audience.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's not Franklin County. And we heard from Senator Harckham, it's not Westchester County. There certainly is not Essex, but it is in Richmond County. What is Moses Mountain? We're going to turn to Andy Lanza to tell us what is Moses Mountain.
So it's stranger than you would think. So when they were making a parkway back in the day, when you were allowed to do whatever you wanted to, this was part of the Greenbelt Conservancy on Staten Island. They sort of piled all the remains of the diggings and all that next to the highest point on the eastern seaboard, which is Lighthouse Hill, and it's Moses Mountain. And I've been there, and it's beautiful, and you have a wonderful vista of the harbor and the rest of New York.
So what is Moses Mountain? Thank you, Andy. What does Moses Mountain recall from the Bible?
Oh, don't know.
Sinai, the commandments? I don't know.
Well, a little bit, Moses.
The commandments.
Where else was
It
Moses?
would have to be the final mountain before they entered Israel that Moses couldn't pass. He could only go to the
That's right.
mountaintop,
Where,
not cross over.
and what was he able to do? He was able to look from the mountain into the land of Israel, but he couldn't enter into it. Did anybody know the name of that mountain?
Oh, you know what? I was just having this conversation with my brother last week and I forgot.
Gilead?
Begins with an N. N-E.
No.
N-E-B.
The Buddenchester?
Never higher.
N-E-B-O.
Nebu?
Mount Nebo.
Can I Google it?
It's N-E-B-O-H. It's Mount Nebo.
Nebo.
In Hebrew, it's Nevo, Har Nevo, Mount Nebo. And from there, just like Andy Lanza was telling us about the highest point to look at, that's where Moses was able to look into the land, but not be able to enter into it. Okay, so we have one more question. How many senators on the program tonight traveled with Michael Miller to Israel? All of them? 6, 4, 2. And and any one of the answers, you have to tell me, the panelists have to tell me who the people are, okay? All of them, which I'm telling the audience, but I won't tell the audience anything. All of them, 6, 4, or 2. Okay, let's turn to the audience and see what they say. They tabulated. All of them 25%, 6 of them 13%, 4 of them 38%, and 2 25%. Interesting. Okay, Okay, this is the last vote. So who wants to go first? That's Jamal's got his finger up.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go with our former city council members. I'm going to go with RJ and Andy Lanza. D, final answer.
Okay. D. Senator Gounardes.
That's what I was gonna say. D, two. RJ and Andy.
Okay. Alexis.
I'm going to go with D, and I'm going to say RJ and Andy as well.
Okay. Jessica.
So I'm with the audience in guessing C because we're taught that when we don't know, you bubble in C.
C.
So
Okay.
C.
Robert, I won't ask that question yet. Kevin Thomas.
I'll go with D as well, Robert Jackson and Andrew Lanza.
Okay. Question, who am I going to ask next? Robert Jackson, how many and who?
Well, I know that I've been several times, but I didn't know who else, but I'd say two, D.
Okay, so Robert Jackson is one of the people who traveled with me to Israel. Okay, RJ, so he got that right. So the question is it Andy Lanza or is it Peter Harckham?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh,
He's been really quiet this entire question. I don't know.
Do we
okay.
get any clues?
The answer is Andy Lanza. Did you travel to Israel with me?
Alexis was right.
So I regret to this day that we had to be a late cancellation on that trip. And I pray that one day I have another opportunity. It was not me.
Oh, okay.
Peter!
Might it have been Peter Harckham?
Best trip of my life. Thank you, Michael.
Okay. And the whole idea of the Passover is the exodus of the children of Israel from Egypt. And it took 40 years, but they made their way to Israel. I'm really pleased that Peter and Robert traveled with me, and everybody else who's on this trip. If we do a state senator trip, you will all be invited to travel with us on the trip. And God willing, when we're able to travel again, we're going to do that. But before we close our program, one of the most important things that we do at the end, Shayna Gursky, not necessarily. Okay, so before we close our program, the last thing that we eat, even after dessert, is called the afikoman. And the afikoman is the religious dessert. And what is the afikoman? It is matzah. So before we say goodbye, let's just grab one more piece of matzah and have a bite so the taste of matzah remains in our mouths.
I don't like that the green light goes on. I feel like I'm a loud chewer. Am I a loud chewer? I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. Couldn't hear you. I'll talk over your chewing, Jessica. So anyway, there's nothing like hand shmur masa. This shmur is called shmur. It means protected. It means watched. It's been watched that it not touch any water or any leavened product from the time that it was reaped in the field. From that time until it was made into matzah, it didn't come anywhere near anything that might have invalidated it. And so we had our matzah together, and the last words that we say at the Seder is next year in Jerusalem. And as I've told all of you, I do hope that next year we will be able to travel again, and I do hope to be able to invite all of you to travel together with me. So I can't thank you enough. You know, we said, well, maybe this is going to last only an hour, and it's already an hour and a quarter. You're so wonderful. God bless you. You're so wonderful, and we had a great time. Learned a lot about Passover. Enjoyed each other's company. For those of us who were able to drink a little bit of Israeli wine, we enjoyed that. However you washed down the food, learned about the foods of Passover. It's really been a wonderful experience. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules, and thank God the budget didn't get in the way. I also wanted to thank our sponsors for tonight, Metropolitan Realty Group, founded and owned by our good friend, Scott Jeffy. Thank you so much, Scott, for everything that you do for us, and for our JCRC Long Island, Mindy Perlmutter. I also want to thank our partners for, thank you. I want our partners for this event, the JCRC of Long Island and its executive director, my colleague, Mindy Perlmutter, as well as the Westchester Jewish Council that I know that Peter knows, and its wonderful executive and my dear friend and colleague, Executive Director Elliot Forsheimer. Special thank you to those on the JCRC staff, our team, made this program possible, particularly Dory Zofan. We should give him a big warm round of applause. He worked really, really hard. Make sure that all of you were able to get your food to the extent possible. To Noam Gilboard, Jennifer Glick, who worked behind the camera, Rebecca Grossman and Jeff Newelt. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We've had a bunch of people who've been watching this, watching it live on Zoom and watching it on Facebook, and it will be on Facebook. If you want to share it, our wonderful senators, a happy Passover, a happy Pesach, a Chag Sameach, as you say, happy holiday to our members of our Jewish faith, a happy Easter during this Christian Holy Week to those who are observing that. And for Andrew Gounardes, who will be observing it in about a month's time, if I remember correctly from his calendar. This has really been a spectacular event. And
Ramadan starts soon too.
what is that?
Ramadan starts soon too.
Right, and Ramadan starts soon. And there's a Hindu holiday, which is happening now that I've just read about too.
Holy.
Holi. Oh, holy.
Great. So there is this is a spring festival bonanza. Thank you so much for joining me. Shalom, shalom to everybody. Peace and goodness and success. Thank you all for your service, our senators, to your constituents and to the state of New York. And I do hope that we're able to spend more time together, maybe eating, but just learning from each other, traveling together, whatever it might be. Again, good night, everybody. Shalom. Happy Passover. Happy holiday season.
Next year in Jerusalem.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
Bye. Thank you.